Coming up tonight, to grant or not to grant. Current and former Chief Justices answer the pressing questions on how judges decide to grant or deny bail. Plus, what's next? The former tourism minister weighs in on the still unsold Grand Lucayan Resort. And then the future looks bright for professions in STEM. The Bridge to the Future program celebrating 6 years of impacting Bahamian students. These stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Eugene DePuche Law School celebrating their 25th anniversary recently, hosting the Eugene DePuche Distinguished Lecture to mark the occasion. 3 former Chief Justices and the current Chief Justice sharing insightful information on a number of topics during the panel discussion led by our very own veteran journalist, Jerome Sawyer. The hot button topic, the issue of bail.
Judges don't have the luxury of responding emotionally to this subject of bail.
Former Chief Justice Brian Murray says the outcry of the public, particularly during times of high crime, is understandable. But he says the debate on whether or not someone should be granted bail must be properly framed.
At its essence, it involves some of the most treasured fundamental rights of citizens, which are an integral part of our democracy and a rule of law. No one would really want to live in a society where merely because the police arrested you, you are deemed to be guilty and treated accordingly.
Murray also addressed another vexing issue for some Bahamians, the decision to grant bail to repeat offenders.
The fact that he's being charged with 3 other offenses doesn't mean that when he comes before the court on the 4th offense, he is to be denied bail merely on the fact that he was charged in 3 other offenses, because the same premise applies. In all of those 3 instances, he's not been convicted of anything.
Former Chief Justice Michael Barnett also weighing in. He says that by law, judges are required to put into writing their reasons for granting bail. He says the information is available and admonishes the public to seek it out.
You will see that the judges aren't capricious, arbitrary, willingly put a society at risk. It's a considered decision that they must make.
Barnett says the decision all comes down to evidence, admitting that the quality of material submitted before the courts for applications of bail has significantly improved.
You put evidence before the judge to circumstances why, for the protection of society, for the protection of the person, that this person ought to be denied bail. But you have to put the material before the judge.
Well, as the deal on the Grand Lucayan looms, former Tourism Minister Dionisio Diagler says it's a tough one to sell. Back in January, Prime Minister Philip Davis expressed optimism the Grand Lucayan Resort will be sold this year. Davis told a local daily the hotel is still on the market for sale, adding there were a number of suitors. In May 2022, the government announced it had reached an agreement with Electra America Hospitality Limited to sell the resort for $100 million. However, in November 2022, Lucayan Renewal Holdings Limited revealed the collapse of the deal, saying the company consistently asks for more time to execute the same. There has been little details on the progress of the sale since then. Deputy Prime Minister and Tourism Minister Chester Cooper previously revealed government spends in the region of $1.2 to $1.5 million per month to maintain the property. Amid all this, Diagler, who too struggled to sell the beleaguered resort during his time in office, wished the government well.
The Grand Lucayan is a very difficult project. It's Grand Bahama is an evolving economy. It needs a significant infrastructural upgrades. Of course, it was impacted by Hurricane Dorian in a tragic way. It needs a new airport. It needs lift. And as a result, it makes the project, the Grand Lucayan, a difficult one to sell. I had that when I was in office, and I'm sure my successor has the same problem, and I wish him well.
Meantime, Prime Minister Philip Davis is leading an official visit to the Republic of Botswana beginning March 18th through the 22nd. This comes following an invitation by His Excellency Dr. Masisi, President of Botswana, Minister of Foreign Affairs Frederick Mitchell, Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin, Economic Affairs Minister Michael Halkitis, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Mario Boleg, and Parliamentary Secretary of Tourism, Investment and Aviation John Pinder will also be attending. According to a statement by the Office of the Prime Minister, Davis and his team seek to reinforce strong diplomatic ties between the Bahamas and Botswana and to explore new educational, economic, and trade opportunities for Bahamians. Both countries have national development strategies which require significant advances in food security, energy transition, digitalization, climate adaptation, education, and sustainable development. Doctors Hospital undertaking groundbreaking steps to shape the future of education and make STEM and medical professions in particular more attractive to young people. Our Jean Joseph tells you about the initiative and its impact on the next generation of STEM professionals.
Doctors Hospital recently launched this year's Bridge to the Future STEM Camp, and students from across the country heard from Aisha Bowe, former NASA scientist and the first Bahamian slated to venture into space. She shared her inspiring journey and encouraged everyone to set their sights on outer space, using an education in STEM to make their dreams reality.
What is it that you are not doing in life because you feel that you cannot or you are afraid? I want you to give yourself permission to not only live the biggest life, but make an impact. And that's really what this mission is about. Not just me going to the stars, but me making it about us. The Bahamas is going to space, and along the way, there are going to be people who are going to do things that they never could have dreamed of.
Shannon Fox, a 12th grade St. Andrews student who graduated from the program in 2023, is now set to fulfill his dream of studying pharmacology at Temple University.
My favorite experience, a part of Bridge to the Future, was visiting different parts of the allied sections of the hospital. You know, we think about surgeons, we think about anesthesiologists more. I was more interested in the pharmaceutical side, the production, the testing of pharmaceuticals. This was interesting to me. Just the entire experience is learning about things that you didn't really know existed.
Dr. Diggett says these are the types of results the program seeks to obtain, and he pledges the company's support to the next generation of science, technology, engineering, and math professionals.
We believe that the future, especially in the allied health careers and professions, we believe that the future is so bright for Bahamians who are committed to pursuing that. And so our role is to introduce them, to keep them focused, to support them along the way, and then to create jobs for them when they return.
Visit the Doctors Hospital website for more information on this and their other student programs. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jean Joseph.
Thanks so much, Jean. When our news weekend comes back from the break, the Royal Canadian Legion in town recently. We'll tell you why. Plus, women are being celebrated all month long. Two organizations coming together over in Grand Bahama to highlight women making an impact. The details to come right after this break.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Despite World War II being nearly a century ago, there are still veterans and their spouses who are still alive today. Recently, members of the Royal Canadian Legion were in town for International Verification Day to ensure registered Bahamian World War II veterans and widows as they came to collect their pensions and groceries. Chairperson of the British Legion Bahamas branch, Adina Munro-Charlo, explains why the process is necessary.
For the ones that the veterans and widows that are living on the island of New Providence, they have to come in person to receive their groceries and also their welfare payments, pension payments. And for those that are on the family island, we will be accepting video calls from them to ensure that they are alive and well.
In 1966, the Royal Canadian Legion committed to providing financial assistance to Caribbean World War II veterans. Service officer in the Royal Canadian Legion, Christine Racine, says they're committed to keeping that promise.
Every 2 years, we are to visit the countries we support and just verify that our funds are going towards the purpose that they should be and that they are distributed accordingly. As I was mentioning this morning when we visited with the British High Commissioner, we would want to duplicate, have another Adina on each island that we provide support to. It makes it very easy for us to work with Adina and the veterans on the island.
Women recognized for their efforts on International Women's Day in Grand Bahama recently. Island Relays Bahamas and the Ministry of Grand Bahama Collab Unit teaming up to host a Women Empowerment Conference at the Grand Lucayan Resort. In addition to sporting events, the organization assists women with the necessary tools and resources to qualify for virtual assistant jobs anywhere across the world. Joyce Johnson, co-founder of Island Relays Bahamas, says their mission is to serve and impact various communities.
This is the first time we've done this event, but our women entrepreneurship course that we have, or our group that we have, we actually meet every month virtually. So you don't even have to leave your home, and you can sign on once a month, hear great speakers, learn great information.
The one-day conference also focused on artificial intelligence. Presenters Howard White and Simone Bowe.
AI is a tool. With every tool, people find usage and misusage. People utilize and then people abuse. That's with any tool or any product. What I would say to individuals that may be thinking about, hey, I don't need to use this, or it's going to make me lazy. Number one, allow it to stimulate and accelerate your creativity and your productivity.
We can't be afraid of technology, but we need to use it to leverage our dreams and to create pathways of success for the people that we're connected to.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, our Candino Knolls brings you a different side of Tranquil Acklands, the rich history of a plantation now open for public tours. Plus,
the Carifta swim team had its first practice. We have more results from the Carifta trials, and UB Soccer got a big-time win. Sunday Sports is up next.
When the Bahamas took center stage at World Expo in Dubai 2022, we were there as thousands got up close and personal with our story, like the unprecedented devastation of Hurricane Dorian put center stage at Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Rwanda. We were there as the Prime Minister urged immediate action on climate change, an issue brought up months later at the historic 50th CARICOM meeting in the Bahamas. Because our news is everywhere, always there when it counts.
welcome back. Portland, Acklands is where the Hannah Homestead stands as a testament to the island's vibrant past. Our news anchor Candino Knowles recently visited the historic plantation to explore the legacy and the indelible mark they've left on these shores.
And they are in abundance here. Mahogany, lignum vitae.
And these aren't all the Hannah Homestead in Portland, Acklands possess. Beneath its lush vegetation lies a rich history that begins with the journey of loyalist John Hannah I, who fled the United States after the American Revolution with a son, John Hannah II. John's life intertwined with two wives, Nancy, who passed away before his marriage, to Anne. Together they bore son Robert, who married Harriet Hasty.
That's where the Hasty Hannah connection comes in, you see?
Robert
yes.
And Harriet.
Yeah, but it might be just not just only Robert, right. but that's how we mix up with the Hasties. But catch this, Harriet Hasty had a sister named Mary Hasty. And this is Mary Hasty. And she was the common law wife to him. You know, because it was taboo for black and white to marry, but they loved each other. So his family ostracized him and her family ostracized her.
Robert and Harriet's union produced three sons, Francis, Robert Jr., and Lionel. Francis was only 15 years old when his parents died. Patricia Claire, nee Hannah, is a direct descendant. She and her husband Louis, now stewards of the homestead.
All the slaves hang around took the Hannah name, you know. That's how come we have these white and black Hannahs.
The ingenuity of those slaves immortalized in artifacts found all throughout the plantation.
They were very indigenous. Like I said, I was telling her, they used to make rope for the whole community. They used to make horse saddle for the community with little pockets in it. Yeah, this is the Memorial Garden. These are original gates. The wood right here on this side too, but these used to be original gates where sometimes the cows were allowed to come in.
That memorial gate, a symbol of reverence and remembrance. During our tour, just one of 3 offered on the homestead, Pat's Reflections, a continuation of stories shared by her loved ones.
I like to talk to old people, and that's how I get to know a number of stories. And my mom, they wasn't sparing nothing. They were telling you what gone down, you know?
From the hallowed grounds of Hannah Homestead in Portland, Auckland, reporting for Our News, I'm Candino Knowles.
Great story. Thank you so much, Candino. Well, the Carifta swim team hits the pool, and we have more Carifta track trial results. Here is Tage Adderley with our Sports Weekend.
Good evening, happy St. Paddy's Day. I'm Tage Adderley with some weekend sports. The Carifta swim team's quest for a 6th straight championship began yesterday when they had their first practice. Our Sasha Lightburn was there, and she has this report.
That message is clear. We are ready to go. The noise in the market about a 50-meter pool, we have, kind of brought that out.
That was the answer I got from the head coach of this year's Carifta swim team, Trevano McPhee, when I asked him about all the noise in the market concerning the ongoing renovations at the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center.
We're focused on the 6 feet. Hopefully we will have the pool at minimum a week before competition just to get back and get that feeling. But overall, I'm pleased. I felt the kids have really, done a good job. I'm focusing, at the task ahead, which is a 6 feet home on our home soil against in front of our Bahamian crowd.
The team held its first practice on Saturday morning at St. Andrew's School, followed by an afternoon practice at St. Anne's Anglican High School. 3 of the team captains, Tristan Ferguson, Kiana Higgs, and Ranishka Gibbs, are, just like their head coach, focused on claiming that 6th consecutive title.
I'm 100% confident. I like 110% confident on that.
I'm very confident that we are going to get this 6-year straight title, especially being at home. There's nothing better than being at home, being in front of your home crowd, being in front of people that you know, being in front of people that are supporting you. And I have a lot of confidence in my team. They've been training very hard. They've worked very hard all year, despite being a difficult year for them with the pool being closed and them transitioning from long course to short course. They've been swimming very well and they worked hard for it.
Reporting for Our Sports, I'm Sasha Lightborn.
Thank you, Sasha. Now we're going to head over to the track where the Carifta trials should be wrapping up. Here are some results from day 2. A few more Bahamian track and field athletes are headed to Grenada. Jakaya Roll qualified in the girls under-17 long jump and Anae Mackey in the under-20 shot put. Javelin throwers Tasia Stubbs and Vanessa Sawyer also made the squad. Joshua Williams qualified in the boys under-17 high jump. Jillian's squad in the under-17 shot put, and both Wyatt Cartwright and Ethan North qualified in the boys under-17 javelin. Congratulations to all of our athletes. Now we're moving on to the soccer pitch where UB got a big win. The Mingos picked up a big 6-0 win over Cavalier FC at the Roscoe Davies Field. It was a hard-fought and physical match, but the Mingos went ahead initially on a goal from midfielder Ronaldo Green in the 36th minute. They would take a 1-0 lead into the halftime thanks to heroic play from goalie Antonio Beckford. The floodgates would open in the second half, however, with Kevin Thomas, Morgan Wood, and Peter Julimus all scoring some goals. Green would have the coup de grace, scoring in the 83rd in open play and in the 89th on a penalty to get himself a hat trick.
We were trying to build momentum going into the second half. We wanted to move the ball and break them down for the second half. We stuck to the game plan, kept possession of the ball and break them down slowly. And as you can see, we scored 5 goals in the second half.
That's a wrap for sports today. I'm Tage Adderley. Have an amazing week. Patio.
Thanks so much, Tage. On the other side of this break, meteorologist Ian McKinsey joins us from the Weather Center with your check on temperatures. Plus, the orange economy heating up in the second city. Our Italia Hall has the recap of Freeport Fashion Week. Stick with us.
When the Bahamas took center stage at World Expo in Dubai 2022, we were there as thousands got up close and personal with our story, like the unprecedented devastation of Hurricane Dorian put center stage at Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Rwanda. We were there as the Prime Minister urged immediate action on climate change, an issue brought up months later at the historic 50th CARICOM meeting in the Bahamas. Because our news is everywhere, always there when it counts.
Thanks for sticking with us. It's time now for your check on weather. And to help you plan for the week ahead, weather-wise, Ian McKinsey has a look at temperatures around the country. Ian.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Sunday evening forecast. We're currently outside our studios under mostly clear skies, but a comfortable temperature 78 feels like at 71. Winds are from the southeast at 12 miles per hour. Current temperatures across the country at this time in our nation's second city, Freeport, we have 77, also in Governor's Harbor 77, 78 in Great Albuquerque, the capital, 79 in Allenstown, Nicholstown, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco. Central Bahamas picking up those 79s again in Camps Bay, Georgetown, and Deadman's Key, 78 in Arthurstown, Kidd Island, and 77 in Coburn Town, San Salvador. For the Southeast Bahamas, 80 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, 79s continuing in Colonel Hill and Delectable Bay, Aucklands, 80 in Abrahams Bay, 81 in Providenciales, and 82 in Matthewtown, Inagua. Satellite and radar imagery at this time. Few clouds, mainly high clouds, moving across the area. High pressure remaining the dominant weather feature, producing mostly dry and stable conditions. However, this is expected to change as we expect a cold front to push through the area late tomorrow night into early Tuesday morning. Boating forecast for the northwest and central Bahamas, winds will be southeast to south 10 to 15 knots. Those seas moderate 2 to 4 feet, low tide at 8:52 p.m., high tide at 3:28 tomorrow morning. For the southeast Bahamas, we have that caution in effect. Winds will be east to southeast 15 to 20. Seas moderate to rough little chop 4 to 7 feet. In your extended forecast, we have that front coming through Monday night into Tuesday. So we have warmer temperatures ahead of the front, bumping up to mid-80s. Rain cool temperatures Tuesday as the front pushes through, continuing to dip a bit after the front 70s. And then a next one is expected through Sunday. So ahead of that, we're looking at some shower activity. Temperatures dipping down a bit. Nighttime temperatures after tomorrow should cool down into the mid to low 60s, then eventually climb ahead of that other front at the end of the week. That puts a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
Grand Bahama recreating its very own fashion experience recently. This as Freeport Fashion Week was held at the Stone Crab restaurant, making way for the orange economy to expand even further on that northern island. Italia Hall reports.
We have the who's who in fashion, so it's a very, very nice caliber of people that's here as well.
The first Freeport Fashion Week was a night to remember. 7 designers showcasing men's and women's clothing. There was also lots of food, drinks, and a Junkanoo rush out. Chairman of the Freeport Fashion Week, Fatima Zarakabu, says the event's goal is to show the talent of Grand Bahama to the world.
It's literally a platform for them to showcase the world, their work, their talents, their passion for the crafts.
Principal producer of Islands of the World Fashion Showcase, Owen Bethel, also weighing in on the event.
I think it's a long time coming, very much needed, and certainly an enhancement to the fashion industry, the promotion of the fashion industry in the Bahamas.
Ambassador Jamal Roll says, as a creative, he's pleased that Grand Bahama can experience an event that emulates fashion weeks across the world.
Today I did a live painting for International Women's Day, and it was a participatory piece where all the ladies made their marks on the canvas, and together we created a masterpiece. So I'm happy to be here celebrating with the wonderful people of Grand Bahama.
Artists Claudette Dean and Paula Farrington say the event feels like the old days in the city of Freeport.
I think there is a resurgence happening, slowly but surely, with this event, with Art Lucayan coming up, and with a few other things that are planned. And I think for sure you can feel it in the air.
Amazing celebration of fashion and creativity. Grand Bahama Island is so fabulous, and it's so wonderful to see it being celebrated this way with all its creativity.
Free National Movement leader and member of Parliament for Marco City, Michael Pintard, also in attendance.
So I think we have a wonderful opportunity in the visual arts, in the performing arts, in new media, and of course in culinary arts and fashion to explode Bahamian talent on the international market.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Italia Hall.
Awesome initiative for Grand Bahama. Thank you so much, Italia, and thank you for joining us for our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful evening.